welcome back to another edition of the show. I've been busy again this week looking for retro bits and pieces out and about in the local area, and this time round I've been doing less of the sort of charity shop side of things and less car boot sale side, and I've been looking more at sort of CEX and also once in Plymouth as well. Various little bits and pieces that I've picked up since the last episode. It's quite varying really from what I've got. It's mostly Sega heavy again, you expect no less really. I'm a bit of a Sega fanboy. But yeah, nonetheless there are some interesting bits and pieces, some stuff that you may never have seen before. So let's get started with what we have. Now first of all, I picked this up because I've been watching a lot of episodes on YouTube of various different games to have for systems. Castle of Illusion. Now I thought for a long time that this was just basically a port of the Mega Drive version of the game, but it isn't. It's a totally different game. The Game Gear version of this is also very, very different. At a time where Sega would use their resources to support 3 different machines simultaneously. That's craziness. You wouldn't get that nowadays. I mean, look at Nintendo. They don't really... they've slimmed down to one machine now, really. And 3DS is on its way out. So yeah, Castle of Illusion. Paid about £4 or £5 for that. So looking forward to giving that a play. I didn't particularly enjoy the Mega Drive version of it, but I've had the Master System version. It's supposed to be really, really good. So definitely worth a play. I got a couple of Sega Pico games. You probably saw in one of the previous episodes that I bought a Pico that was slightly damaged. Say slightly damaged, the whole side of it was absolutely busted. But what I did was I repaired that machine. But moreover, what I did was I bought another one on eBay as well, which is full on complete. So yeah, I've made one good one out of both the ones that I've got now. So I've got one that's pretty much immaculate, and I only really bought it for the games. So what I got with it, which I didn't have before, is this is quite rare. This game, Professor Pico and the Paint Box Puzzle. Not to be confused with something like Professor Layton. This is very much a kids game that teaches you sort of numbers and colours and shapes and all that lot. So this is aimed at 4 to 7-year-olds. That was released in 1994 on the Pico. It's got a bit of damage on the box, it's a bit of a shame really. It hasn't been well looked after, but I haven't seen it come up in the UK for a little while, so I thought I might as well pick it up and then I'd maybe get a better condition copy at another time. I got this game, which is different packaging to most other Pico games I've picked up so far. This is the Berenstain Bears A School Day. Now this is actually quite a cool game. This teaches numbers, again shapes as well. It's got some cool little counting games on there. And that came out in 1995, so it's a slightly more advanced Pico game, that one. And it really shows when you play it. It's certainly far more advanced than, say, A Year in Pooh Corner, which was the Winnie the Pooh game. That was the first one that came out for it. And this is suitable for 3 to 5 years old. It's got a window box, and it's quite a bit smaller than the other Pico boxes. So they're obviously saving on the packaging by that point, looking to the future. I've got a copy of Tales and the Music Maker, which is actually in very, very good condition. It's got the manual in there, the box is in very, very good condition. This game's actually quite rare, relatively sought after. People do try and seek this out when going for Pico games. Sadly, we didn't get Sonic in the game world over in this country, so we had to make do with Tales being the pretty much only Sonic related game on the machine. Suitable 4 to 7 years old, that one's quite an advanced one. What else did I get here? Oh yeah, I got some Saturn games. These are from CEX, these ones. Those Pico games came from eBay, but these ones came from CEX. So I've got a copy of Loaded, which came with the box and booklet. I had to send the original copy of this that I bought back, as I covered in the last episode. A few of the games I had to send back, this was one of them. And it didn't have the booklet, and the CD was a little bit scratched up. And I thought, no, I'm not putting up that. So I ordered another copy of it, and the second copy that came was actually in far, far better condition. The box is held together a lot better rather than being ripped to shreds like it was. And it's complete. I ordered a copy of Resident Evil. Really fancy giving this game another play through. And it came with the booklet this time round. Again, I had to send the previous copy back because it was in horrendous condition. And it's quite expensive this. I paid almost £20 for this game, if I remember correctly. So I wanted a copy that was immaculate with the booklet, and the second copy they sent was indeed that. So happy chappy with that one. Got a copy of Worms. It's not the most amazing entry in the series. This one was relatively basic, but it's the first time I've ever seen it in a cardboard box. I always remember these having the plastic later style boxes, but this one's in the earlier style boxes. But I suppose it would be really, because I imagine it's probably quite an early Saturn game, maybe 95, 96. So it's been kept in good condition. The manual's in there, and the disc is very, very good. Got these ones today actually. Fighters Megamix. Really enjoyed this game on Saturn, and pictures together all of Sega's fighters from the era, and also some other Sega fighters from different franchises, i.e. a Daytona car. And yeah, it's a really cool game. This has got the booklet in it as well. The disc is in very, very good condition, and again, a game that I do really enjoy playing, so I will be going through and having a playthrough of this. I didn't really get along with this game the first time around, but I figured it was worth adding to my collection anyway, and that's Bug. Now, the disc is a little bit scratched on this one, but it does have the booklet, and the case is in very, very good condition. As most copies of Bug are, you don't really see Bug in bad condition case-wise. Often a disc can be a little bit scratched because it was, I think, a launch game for the machine. It's like a Pseudo 2.3 platforming game, 2.5 platforming game, and yeah, it's not a terrible game. It's just very, very difficult, and it can be very, very frustrating at the best of times. But I'll give it another little try to see whether I can get along with it better this time round. I haven't played it for years, so maybe my gaming skills have improved and I've reached my 30s, matured. Siberia is like a weird action-adventure game, third-person action-adventure game, with shooting sections and on-rail sections as well. The gameplay is very, very twitchy, so you've got to be very, very patient with this game. But it's not a terrible game, and it's somewhat of a bit of a hidden gem on the Saturn. So it looks good. It's fully 3D, which a Saturn wasn't really amazing at doing at the time. But this game did alright with it, and it's not a bad game overall. I don't see it very, very often. I haven't owned it the first time around, I don't think, so I'm glad the second time around collecting Saturn games I've added it to my collection. I've got a cheapie in the form of Bland Machine Head. Now, this came from CEX. The case is barely holding on, so I'm going to have to super glue all that back together again. The disc isn't too bad on it. It came from Victor Wright, which is in Bury. I don't imagine they're still in business. But yeah, it was cheap. It was about £5, I think. Not meant to be a terrible game. It's complete with the booklet. So the case is a little bit haggard, but it was a cheapie. So it's by Core Design as well. And, yeah, they're pretty good with Sega hardware. A copy of Doom for the Atari Jaguar. It's quite a good port of this game, and I think I've got a 32X version of the game coming very, very soon as well. And I bought a Saturn version last week. I don't know why I keep buying multiple versions of Doom. Next month, the SNES version. But yeah, so the Atari Jaguar version of Doom. I want to go back and play through this game because I played it back in the day when Telegames were supplying game retail stores with Jaguar hardware back in the day. Now, sadly, I sold my Atari Jaguar while they were doing mega money on eBay, but thankfully, as great fortune would have it, somebody sold an Atari Jaguar, so I bought it, and I had paid quite a bit of money to get it, but I'm quite pleased because it's in the box and it's not bad condition, fully working condition, and yeah, I think I've ordered Cybermorph for this as well, so I'll pick up a few other bits and pieces for it. I'm really looking forward to covering a little more of this console in the channel later on, perhaps doing some of the games on Retro Plymouth Gamers, and perhaps doing a hardware profile on it as well, but a little bit of the history of the console, where it lies today, because they still make games for this thing, so it's going to be an interesting episode to show you what was and what is with this console, because it's a very magical console really, that once you do get a Jaguar, there is something different about it, unlike some of the other failed consoles of the time. like your CDI and your CD32 and things like that. Various other consoles with CD in the name. Atari Jaguar CD unit included. But yeah, it's a cool console. It's not particularly impressive by today's standards, but I'm glad I've got one now in my archive. So yeah, I'm going to give it a blitz this evening and give Doom a play, I think. So it's a good conversion. So one of the best games on it. So there we go, that's everything I've picked up this week. So yeah, I think I've probably spent quite a bit. I think I spent about 150 quid, 150, 170 quid on this lot. And that includes the extra picker that I picked up as well. So it's not too bad. But I think my next episode will be slightly cheaper finds. Right, okay, well I shall see you next time, and hopefully have more interesting stuff for you. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and also watch a few of the other episodes that are scattered around the channel from me and Mike Langabir, playing some games and giving you some reviews of them as well. Try and keep making episodes of that. So we'll see you next time. Alright.